Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, welcome to the latest episode of the 10-Minute Shoot. Today, we are recapping the latest episode of Monday Night Raw from January 20th, 2025, and I'm going to kind of bounce around these segments, not necessarily go in order, kind of basically talk about what I'm thinking immediately based on my notes. And I want to start with the Rey Mysterio versus Kofi Kingston match, which I thought was one of the highlights of the night. Really good match. There was a lot of build-up before the match with a backstage segment between Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods and JBL, who was also advertised for the show. He was the commentator for the match, and in the backstage segment, we had Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston talking with JBL about how he also cut dead weight with his past tag team with the Acolytes, and they felt like he would kind of know where they're coming from with the Big E situation. Kofi also put $2 into JBL's pocket to basically kind of bribe him to puff them up a little bit during his commentary in that match, which he said he wasn't going to do and didn't side with them. And there was a funny part where when they came out for the match with Rey, they went over to JBL and then took the $2 back, which I thought was funny. And in the match, Rey defeated Kofi, and it ended with Rey countering the SOS into a pinfall victory. After the match, New Day attacked Rey before Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro intervened, and then the New Day attacked Joaquin Wilde before leaving. Really good match, and I feel like the New Day's current version with their heel tactics is, for me, one of the best heel groups currently in the business. I think that their level of heat is equal, if not surpassing, Dominic Mysterio's heat whenever he shows up. People just really want to boo them, and I think it's great, especially this far into their career. Just wonderful to see, and it really breathes new life into the New Day. Hopefully, with Big E being involved during WrestleMania season, this could get ramped up even more, and I guarantee you it'll be one of the top feuds of going into WrestleMania 41. Next thoughts involve Bayley versus Nia Jax. So we also learned during the show that Bayley was officially transferred over to Monday Night Raw, which I thought was a good idea. I felt like Bayley's position on SmackDown was a little all over the place. Of course, she was WWE champion, but she also felt like she was kind of floating around after her WWE championship reign, and I felt like they weren't sure what to do with her necessarily. So giving her this opportunity to be on Monday Night Raw with a new group of girls, I think will hopefully do wonders for her, because in our recent podcast, we talked about, and I talked about specifically, how I feel like Bayley has been one of the four horsewomen, but I felt out of the four women, she wasn't given, I feel like folks do not give her the same kind of view as the other three. So I just really want her to do well, and I hope they keep giving her a good story on Raw, because she's one of my favorite wrestlers. So Nia Jax in this match defeated Bayley after delivering the Annihilator, and early in the night, we saw Nia Jax attack Rhea Ripley in the parking lot. So after the match, Nia was attacked by Rhea Ripley, and this led to Ripley challenging Nia Jax for Saturday night's main event, which should be a great match. I feel like Nia Jax is heading towards this feud for the belt. I don't know if this is just a one-off because they needed something for Saturday night's main event, but I foresee Nia Jax being involved in the WWE title picture going into WrestleMania 41. We also got another match with Penta, and he continues his dominance, and they gave him another wrestler to work with, Pete Dunne, who didn't get an entrance. He basically got the jobber entrance. During the break, he was talking to the crowd who were chanting his former name, and Penta secured a win over Pete Dunne with his Penta driver. A really good match. I think Penta as a wrestler has done really well adjusting to WWE style. He just fits, and WWE has done a great job with it. I think his merchandise is amazing. His mask is awesome, and I definitely want to get that shirt in the near future. Just really, really good stuff. Curious to see where Penta goes from here. And bouncing back a little to the beginning, we had this promo off between Jey Uso and Gunther, which was really good. And they do have a match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event. And this specific segment really highlighted the mic work of Jey Uso and his charisma and how the crowd really gets behind him. Gunther made a point about Jey basically being a mascot for WWE, really trying to frame it as a negative and kind of diminishing his role in WWE and not necessarily being at the top with the rest of the main eventers like a CM Punk or Drew McIntyre. Jey Uso, to some degree, they're framing him kind of like Daniel Bryan was as a B-plus player, but not necessarily like a Batista or a Roman Reigns. And it'll be interesting. I don't know if Jey Uso is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship from Gunther. I feel like Gunther as a character, he had such a dominant persona, and it just felt like he was going to beat everybody with his Intercontinental Championship run. And I'm not really getting that same vibe with his World Heavyweight Championship run. Maybe it's just me, but the way that he's portrayed does not seem as dominant as they did for him with his IC belt run. So we'll see. I think Gunther is still going to retain, and Jey Uso is going to come really close, because I feel like Jey shouldn't lose definitively either. I feel like he's gonna lose like a champion if he has to lose. It'll be a surprise, in my opinion, if Jey Uso actually wins, but we'll see. The main event is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, and I kind of want to tie back into a promo that took place earlier in the night with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens, of course, is on SmackDown, but he comes out with his Winged Eagle belt that he took from Cody Rhodes and talks to Sami Zayn about, how they're brothers and how they've known each other for so long, and basically saying that he will do anything for him, implying that, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And we think that maybe there will be something between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the Royal Rumble. I feel like those are the seeds that they're trying to plant. We also got a segment between Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins about how they're both going in the Royal Rumble and how one of them will toss over the other person. And that was a good build-up to this main event between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, which was billed as a WrestleMania rematch, which was a fantastic main event. I think it was built up, started up a little slow, and then the reversals were great. I thought the pacing was awesome, and then after the match, during the match, Seth Rollins does a surprise roll-up, which is one of the most devastating moves in all of sports entertainment, to quote Simon Miller. And after the match, Drew attacked Seth, and then Sami Zayn came in for the save. And during all this chaos in the ring, Sami Zayn inadvertently delivered a haluva kick to Seth, and the crowd basically does a giant gasp. And Seth Rollins is looking at Sami Zayn and he's apologizing, saying that he didn't mean it. So again, WWE is really good at adding all these layers and uncertainties to these feuds. You're not really sure where they're going to go with all these little seeds that they planted leading up to the Rumble and even beyond to WrestleMania 41. So those are my thoughts. This is the 10-minute shoot. Please let me know what you think in the comments below and what you thought of Monday Night Raw. See you in the next one.